Hello, Anna. This is your father who loves you. Call me if you can. Thank you.
Hey, look, keep looking at it, Richard. Oh, right.
And I'm looking at it for what reason? So y'all think this is... Eureka! I am! Ah! What point?
You weren't looking.
I was looking.
No, you didn't.
Ellen, it takes you 15 minutes.
I know, I'm not great.
It's called click, click, click. See, Josh was clicking. See? Watch. He's making a movie. And you're recording my voice? This is wonderful. So, Joshua, one day when I'm dead and gone, you look back at this thing, and I can say, Dear God, I thank you that I can commit my son Joshua to you, that you'll bless him with all your blessings, and you'll fill him with your word. Well, Joshua, I'll tell you, we're going to miss you, but we're believing God is sending you to New York. We're believing that this is your destiny, that the Holy Spirit's going to guide you and open the doors wide for you to enter in. So we're excited about you going. We're looking forward with the expectation of getting reports of your great success, your overcoming abilities, and we're thankful that God has put you in this family. You've been a real blessing to us. Well, you know, it's really kind of a strange thing. I don't, by the way, even though I'm almost 60, I consider myself about 30. So I don't relate to the 60 at all. but I'm kind of a crossover generation between what was past and your generation. Okay. When I was raised up as a boy, we didn't have indoor plumbing in my house. Okay. So I was raised up in an outhouse. The people across the street from us in this little rural neighborhood that I was raised in, there was only 5 people in the neighborhood, 5 houses. But the little neighborhood I was raised in, there was a flatbed wagon that come by once a week, drawn by a mule, carrying block ice for the ice boxes. So they had an ice box. So that's strange, even though I was raised in the I was born in 48.
And I lived in Newport News, and I had a different experience.
But even through the 50s, I knew lots of people that had ice boxes and outdoor privies and no water in their houses. It's kind of strange.
Joshua, I'm ready to go. Where are you? Joshua? How come you don't answer your phone?
Actually, I got to tell you, most of us have a reluctance to be photographed. But you know, some years down the road, you go back and look at this stuff and you're thankful to have it.
Not this.
Not this. Well, who knows about this?
You know how your mother photographed your mother like this?
This may be the most detailed record that I ever have of my wife sitting there in a chair with her hands over her face. And stayed at Grandma Dudley's house, and they lived about a mile apart. And I walked over there one day, and I went in my sister's pocketbook and stole $1 out of it. And I went to the store and bought a candy bar for a nickel and a Coke for a nickel, and it was a dime. And I got so terrified about what I'd done that I threw the 90 cents away so nobody catch me with it. I had to confess. Then a year or two later, I got the courage up and confessed my sin to my sister. How sorry I was for stealing that $1. But the guilty pleasure, I couldn't even keep it. I had to throw it away. Guilt. Oh, golly. When Dad was working the second shift, Mother would make me get in bed with him on a cold winter night when we didn't have heat in the bedrooms, and she'd put her feet on me to warm up.
How did that make you feel?
Like her feet were cold. God works so many miracles. He works so many miracles, both financially and providentially and every other way, that whatever need that we have, in God's timing, provision is met. Oftentimes, I think when the provision comes, we have a decision to make. Do we want that and accept that provision? Are we willing to walk in it? Or are we afraid and unwilling to acknowledge God's provision at that time and walk away? You know, when I lived in Washington, D.C., I'd go to work every morning at the Naval Research Laboratory, and if a car would break down on the interstate in the morning and they'd leave the car to go to a station or go for help, we'd come back and pass that same car in the afternoon. Honest to golly, if you sit up on 4 blocks, yeah, the hood popped, no tires on it. I don't know what all was stripped off. It was movable. It was gone. It was gone. Bolted. It was gone. Right there in broad daylight. Jack Thomas, his mother Edna. I loved going to their house as children. We just felt so safe over there. Then we'd go visit Paul Ledford and Everett Ledford, and it was just wonderful for us. We lived here, and you guys lived there, but when we came to visit, we always felt a part of it. The Ledford family just opened the doors to us and made us feel special. But I got to tell you a story about, you guys, I guess y'all know Paul Ledford, and he's having some physical difficulties right now, so he's not here. But I got to tell a story about his mom.
You're talking to the mic.
His mama Chastine. Oh, sorry. About his mother Chastine.
Oh, that helps.
Now, when I was a kid, my parents had no money. And my mother knew how to stretch a sandwich and feed several people. But when we'd go to Edna's and Paul's house, they would pull out one banana and could make 5 sandwiches out of it. I've never seen one that could cut one so thin. But, we never felt a lack. We always felt like there was an abundance no matter how little we actually had. But we just felt like such an abundance because we had such a warm, loving family. So I just want to thank each of y'all for being part of my life. What is this on the floor?
Well, I don't know.
Come here, look.
Good morning to you, Scott. Richard Dudley. Scott, I find myself having some leisure time in the mornings and God has impressed me to reach out to you and say, Scott, how may I pray for you, not just today, but ongoing issues. So rather than waiting for you to be praying for me, I want to pray for you in areas of your needs. Give me a call with a list of things I can pray for you for, brother. God bless you today, Scott. Thank you.
And so we didn't either. We had an outdoor, what they call a privy. They didn't even have an outdoor privy. They just go out in the woods and drop the drawers. So my brother and I, or BB, got shooting birds one day. We saw this woman. It was their niece. She had a big butt, and she had her britches pulled down and squat. And we shot her with a BB in her butt.
Do BBs penetrate or they just...
No, but it did stay.
You know Richard Dudley. He wants to be up there.
Yeah.
I've got my little tank with me.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So glad you can make it.
Yeah, so am I. I got it. Okay. Guys, I'm so thankful to be here. Joshua was pretty special.
Into the mic, real quick.
I don't have this professionalism. When Joshua was about 2 years old, we had a dear friend, Ben Wilson. I don't know if y'all remember Ben or not. Ben gave us a hobby horse that his child had outgrown. Joshua was too little for this hobby. It was a big one. Josh was 2 years old, and we had the hobby horse was so big we couldn't put it in the house. We had it in the backyard. So Joshua goes in the backyard, and I watch him through the window. He comes up to it and touches it and rubs his hand all over it and admires it, but he knows it's too big for him. He can't get up there on it. But he continued to try for at least 30 minutes. He finally got up on it. You know what he did? He immediately climbed back down and practiced it again over and over and over until he could do it consistently. That's who Joshua is. He's a man of courage. I've never seen such faith, even as a young child, to believe God that he could accomplish something and continue to go forward until he did it. I was so impressed with what I saw, and Josh has been my inspiration over the years. He's gone through I got 2 of them here.
The New Jersey party was a little hard to hear, so I'm just trying to make sure we can hear it.
I am so pleased to have Joshua in my life. It's not that I've been a good parent or a good father or a classic example, but Joshua has just seen the good in me. He hasn't seen the bad. He's seen the good, and he continues to love me. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. I am so excited to have y'all in my family. Phoebe, my new daughter. Thank you.